And that's us away. If you just give me a wee second, I'll just go and have a wee look at some of the questions. So it shouldn't be too long. I'll just I'll get it off and try and finish in a wee funny note. So
no,
Tom, sorry, with a few technical issues there, so we're back and rolling in. Grigor Yasorian, he's asking me, in terms of your supply chain, how's the stock coming in? We had that example the other night where some of the training gear sold out extremely quickly. I suppose it's a nice problem to have, but it is a bit of a problem.
Yeah, no, you're right, Mark. It is. It's in the grand scheme of things, there's worse things that can happen. But equally, you're absolutely right. When fans kind of have parted ways with their hard-earned cash, that they want the product and they want it as quickly as possible. So the training kit, there was kind of some early stage problems again for the very. I'll be completely honest with you, it sold a lot more quickly than we anticipated, and we do a lot of this in a very numerically led way, without boring you with too much detail, but essentially that says, okay, if you can sell 50,000 jerseys for the home kit that quickly, the away should broadly sell X% of that, the training kit should sell X. And then where the problems kind of, or the challenges arise, is where if one particular colourway of the training kit, which I think in this season has been the navy training kit, is particularly popular, and you kind of see a surge in demand for that particular product. And there's certain products that we've got coming down the pipeline, without giving too much away, that we're kind of anticipating may receive a surge in demand. But the training kit, again, wasn't one that we'd kind of earmarked as one that was going to absolutely fly off the shelves. So they may be slightly slower than normal. So apologies for fans that may be waiting for those. But even for those that are waiting slightly longer than normal, I would hope, and I'm always conscious, Mark, of over promising, but I'd hope it's no more than a couple of days, which again I know is not perfect, so apologies, but hopefully it's not too much longer. And I mean, I was speaking to another Premier League team, and he said, yeah, they've had a number of issues with delivery. So that's of course not an excuse, but it's not a unique challenge either. So I think all we can do is work through them as quickly as we possibly can, which we are doing.
What about the We Are the People's asking here, the extent of your plans for other forms of merchandise now that you've got the store up? You know, the old Rangers stores had watches, they had wallpaper, bed sheets, curtains. How are you getting on with that?
Golf apparel. That's important part of the next stage, if you like, Mark. So as you can imagine, priority number one was the replica and training kits. It was that we knew that was undertaking, and it absolutely has not disappointed. It's been all of that and more. So priority number one is to work through all of those things before we get too far ahead of ourselves on other product and merch. However, like I say, we're making really good progress on those areas. So very quickly, attention will be turning to how do we kit out that store with the best possible quality of product. So I mean, you've mentioned some of them there, and I know the guys have got work already and ideas well underway around around taking this club's product offering. I think dog collars, pet stuff for pets, stuff for the golf course, stuff you can wear to work, a really broad range of accessories, all these sorts of things, which between now, so let's call it September, between September and December, we'll be dropping those into the store on a periodic basis, which again will hopefully be really, really exciting for the fans. So the goal is to get as much of that prepared in advance of Christmas, which, as I said earlier, it is kind of the challenge we've set for ourselves, to have as much as possible sorted by then.
Of course, there's you could end up running a jumbo sale if you tried to give everybody absolutely everything they wanted. For instance, whenever users Gramps won, he was wanting sponsorless training tops. Maybe for those that are deeply opposed to gambling, but obviously there does come a limit to what you can offer. You were kind of teasing us, I think, in the Rangers TV video, which was out earlier today, in which I will include a link to at the bottom of this video. Are there any plans, ask capital G, to do a Black Friday, a black all supporters top later this year? Now, you're being cagey about the colour and when the third top was coming out. But those kind of ideas, is that the sort of stuff that you're looking for from fans?
That's exactly it, Mark. It really is. And I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but Castore is a challenger brand. We can't go head to head with the Nike, Adidas, Pumas of this world, replicate what they do and compete with them, because frankly they're far bigger and more experienced than us. Where we can compete with them is by being more innovative, creative, and doing things differently, and kind of preparing products explicitly or exclusively, for a Black Friday launch is a really good example. Again, I don't want to give too much away because the plans are still in a fairly early stage, but what I can say is that is absolutely our intention this season, to do things differently from other football clubs and other big brands, and give fans the products that they want, really high quality products in a really exciting way. So something around Black Friday will absolutely form part of those plans.
I've got a bit of bad news to give you in terms of your Garcia training top, the hoodie. It's actually now been officially renamed the Hadji hoodie by the punters. So I've had Kit, Sherbrooke Loyal, who's one of my administrators, Cherry RFC, and they're all asking, can that be made available to the fans, or is it going to remain purely for players? Is that something you would consider?
The intention, Mark, is that anything that the players or the coaching staff wear will be available to the fans. So that's the intention. The only caveat to that is that, like I say, priority number one is making sure that all of those pre-orders, all of those early orders of the playing and the replica kit are all sorted as quickly as possible. Once we've got those products in the hands of the fans, that's when we'll turn our focus to the broader product offering. But the intention is that the fans get everything that the players have access to.
Right. So in terms of what we could call the pro kit, that will become increasingly available, and the third kit, you're looking to do something special, and would maybe even at this stage still be asking fans for their ideas on that.
Absolutely. Having the fans' ideas is always incredibly valuable. It really is. I can't promise that all of those ideas are going to get filtered into the products for the coming months, just purely because of the lead times and how long it takes to produce these things. But getting that feedback is really valuable. And like I said earlier, going forward or looking ahead into next season, that's when that feedback is going to really come into its own. But I mean, again, like I said, we want to be different to the big brands who do things in a very standardised, one-size-fits-all way. That is.
Just lost you for a few seconds there, Tom. You've kind of gone a wee bit, I'm afraid. Being frozen again. I'll pause and record. I don't know if you can hear me, mate. Just about a minute to go, I would say, in terms of what I want to ask you anyway.
Sorry, Mark.
Yep, I can hear you now, mate. So, just as I've said that, your screen has frozen again, which is a little bit of a pain. But I'm just carrying on to record.
No.
Right. That's you. Yeah. So we'll do it quick. So if we just restart. So I think I got most of the stuff about you're talking about Nike and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, just to pick it up there. So, for Castore, Mark, we as I've said already, we need to differentiate ourselves and stand out and be different to those big brands. One of the ways, the clear ways, in my opinion, that we can do that is by genuinely listening to the fans' feedback and taking it on board. And like I said, that's not to overpromise and say that it's going to be filtered into every single product, but certainly going forward, hopefully for the rest of this season, some of the products we've got planned, and certainly going into the anniversary next season, we really want to take that fan feedback on board. So in all honesty, the sooner they can feed that into us, the better.
So lastly, Tom, tomorrow you've got the reopening of the Rangers store, and or some of us would still call it the Rangers shop, going back many moons ago. That must be a bit of a challenge for you to actually have something that scale, you know, which is going to be busy on match day, out of match day, and I think especially with the kind of, you know, that kind of merchandising culture we've had at Rangers for so long, people are thirsting to go back to the old days when, you know, you could buy from the club and be sure that your money was going to the club. Are you going to speak much tomorrow? Have you got any particular message for the fans who'll be there? I believe my Gers, it's been done by invitation, obviously, because of the climate we find ourselves in. Will that be another milestone?
Massive milestone, Mark. I mean, when we entered this partnership, there was a number of things we knew were going to be incredibly important. You said it already around the flagship home jersey. Watching the players walk out wearing the Castore logo on their chest for the first time was a very special moment, as I said on the Rangers TV interview, and clearly one of those big milestones is reopening the shop. As you said earlier, I think anyone that has any awareness of Rangers Football Club knows not only, I guess, how important that shop has been historically, but also, to be completely honest, the challenges maybe that the shop's faced in more recent years. So again, we've internally at Castore talked a lot about a new era, challenging ourselves to look forward rather than look back. It's not always possible, but certainly as much as we can with this partnership, that is where the excitement really comes in. And I don't think there's no better example of that new era opportunity as with the reopening of the shop. So yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. I believe there's going to be a number of people from the club there as well. So very, very excited. But equally, I think, in my opinion, or the way I'm viewing it, is that tomorrow is day one. We've got a long-term partnership with Rangers. Hopefully, and there's obviously a broader context to this, but hopefully the world is going to get back to some semblance of normality in the coming months, and we'll be able to welcome far more fans. Like I said, 7 days a week. So tomorrow is a special moment for sure. But really, there's a hell of a lot of hard work still ahead to make sure that, as you've said, we've got the right product offering in there for Rangers fans, and that they can access that store whenever they want. Like I said, 7 days a week and all the rest of it, to take it back to what it used to be and used to represent for the fan base. That is something that excites me hugely.
Well, I think that's a great summation, Tom. And I think from what you've been saying there, you're quite happy that if we can get up some links in terms of the feedback, both for new products and any problems that folk have got just now, we can get them down to Castore and get them dealt with. So listen, thanks very much for taking your time out today. I know you'll be very busy tomorrow, but I think in terms of the where we are now, it's been night and day since what we would call the good guys have taken over, but it's been a long journey, and hopefully Castore, you'll play your part in getting us back to where we want to be.
I certainly hope so, Mark. Certainly hope so. Thanks very much for having me, mate. Appreciate it.
Ta-ra. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Good. Thanks, mate. That'll be great.